suffocated and dumped in woodland. Who killed little Rory Blackhall? Tonight, the town where he died is gripped by fear.
Scared. You're scared to let your kids out your sight. You're actually scared when they're in school. Are they going to slip out? It's frightening.
He kissed his mother goodbye just yards from school and never arrived there. For 7 hours on Thursday, no one realised Rory was missing. But could the old piece of canvas tent his body was hidden under lead police to his murderer?
Also tonight, now send her body back. The family of a grandmother dug from her grave bow to pressure from animal rights extremists. How did anyone survive this? The passengers and crew who made it out alive from this terrifying crash. And Hillary's amazing voyage, the paralysed woman who's broken a sailing record.
Good evening. They are the sad and distressing details of a crime that has left a town fearing for its children. The police revealed today that the missing Livingston schoolboy Rory Blackhall was murdered and that whoever killed him is still on the loose. Detectives said the 11-year-old was suffocated, his body dumped in woodland a short distance away from his school and hidden by a worn canvas tent. He was fully clothed, but his blue school rucksack is still missing. Today, anxious parents kept a fearful eye on their children in the town, and police appealed for information on suspicious strangers seen in the area. Our Scotland correspondent Martin Geisler is in Livingston tonight. Martin.
Nick, clearly it's difficult to imagine what poor Rory's family must be going through at the moment. Indeed, this whole community has felt this over the last few days. People here were genuinely upset last week when they learned that Rory had disappeared. They were shocked yesterday when it was confirmed that he was dead, and horrified today when police announced that he'd been murdered. Tonight here in Livingston there is a very powerful and very evident mix of grief and fear. Late this afternoon, at the end of the school day, parents brought pupils to lay flowers for a classmate they won't see again. A community already stunned by news of Rory Blackhall's death was horrified when police made this announcement today.
We're now able to confirm to you that we are indeed conducting a murder investigation into the death of Rory.
Rory's final journey began as a regular trip to school. It was the first day back after the summer holidays. He left home with his brother and his mum for the short trip across the town of Livingston. Meldrum Primary is just 300 yards or so up this road. Last Thursday morning, Rory and his mother went through their usual routine. At 8:30, she dropped him off in this bus stop and kissed him goodbye. She turned her car, and as she drove back past, she watched him walking down these steps, heading for this underpass. Avoiding a busy road, it was his safest route to school. But that was the last time Michelle Blackhall would see her son alive. Just before 3:30, Rory's grandfather came here to collect him, but he didn't show up. When he asked teachers where Rory was, they told him he hadn't been in class all day. Only then was the alarm raised. A massive police operation was launched. It lasted 3 full days. The search reached its tragic conclusion just half a mile from where Rory had disappeared. On Sunday afternoon, a police officer discovered Rory's body lying in woodland just off this path. It was covered by the remains of an old tent. A forensic team worked around the body for fully 30 hours before it was removed. Last night, a post-mortem confirmed Rory had been murdered. His killer had asphyxiated him. This murder inquiry is one of the biggest this force has known. A team of 80 officers is working flat out, trying to piece together Rory's final movements. But as yet, they concede they have no firm leads, no real clue as to who might have done this.
We have a number of profilers and experts working with us alongside the inquiry. But as I said earlier, it's at the very early stages of the inquiry, and hopefully that will develop quickly with the assistance of the public.
With the killer still at large, the parental anxiety was all too clear at Rory's school today. Mothers and fathers walking their children right up to the front door.
Devastated it would happen to a little boy, 11-year-old boy, can't even walk to school without something terrible happening to him.
I've been crying all the time. I mean, that could have been my wee grandson.
Those concerns shared inside the school. This girl was a classmate of the dead boy.
Everybody's scared to go home because in case their mums aren't there.
Tonight, as those concerns grow, so do the tributes, left here to remember a caring young boy who met the most tragic end. Well, having spoken to police in the last few minutes, I can tell you they've been overwhelmed by the response from the public to their appeals for information. Thousands of calls today. Particularly impressed they are by the reports of sightings of unknown people or strange people, they say, around this area at the time Rory disappeared. Also, some detail, some encouraging detail on his movements after he left his mother. They hope, and everybody here hopes indeed, that somewhere in amongst all that lot, they will find the lead they need to help them catch his killer.
Martin, thank you.
One key concern tonight is what did happen during those crucial 7 hours last Thursday when Rory's family thought he was at school and the school thought he was at home.
So should schools routinely contact parents of all children who don't turn up for classes? Paul Davis looks close up at what could be a vital early warning system.
If you're a parent, you worry. It goes with the territory. And this tragic case has got parents in Scotland and elsewhere looking very closely at the line of communication between school and home, a line that broke down with such desperate consequences in the case of Rory Blackhall. It may surprise many people, but in Scotland and the rest of the UK, there is no set policy on who should contact who when a child fails to turn up for school. At Meldrum Primary School today, a mother whose child was in Rory's class said the school would leave it to parents to contact them if a child failed to show.
The school has a policy, if you don't send your kids to school, you have to phone in. So it's really up to the mums.
Another parent who has children at the secondary school up the road said a different policy operates there.
If, for instance, my son doesn't turn up at school and I haven't phoned in, then the school is on the phone to my house or corresponding with me by 10 o'clock in the morning to find out why he's not at school. Primary schools don't do this.
Rachel? Yes, sir. Matthew?
Yes, there have been successful pilot schemes where an absent child at school register time means a message sent to the parent. Sussex Police have also introduced the Child Rescue Alert system, where through text messages and interrupting TV and radio programmes, the public is asked to help solve child abductions. But early warning is vital.
Those first hours are absolutely crucial. The abductor, murderer or the abuser will have had some kind of a plan of what he's going to do. It's very rare that he would be planning to hold on to a child for any length of time.
Tragically, that early warning was missing when Rory Blackhall disappeared. Paul Davis, ITV News.